What's going on, guys? John Elder here from Codemy.com, and in this video, we're going to add a search function for our app with Django and Python. All right, guys, like I said, in this video, we're going to add a search function. But before we get started, if you like this video and want to see more like it, be sure to smash the like button below, subscribe to the channel, give me a thumbs up for the YouTube algorithm, and check out Codemy.com, where I have dozens of courses with hundreds of videos that teach you to code. Use coupon code YouTube1 to get $30 off membership. That's all my courses, videos, and books. One-time fee at just $49, which is insanely cheap. All right, we are moving right along with our sort of club app. And in this video, I want to show you how to add this search function up at the top here. So you can see we could search for, anything. Click here, you search for city. It's clickable. We can go to the actual city park page. We can come up here and click Vegas, whatever. We get these two, Vegas Place, click on it, good to go. So that's what we're gonna look at in this video. All right, so I'm using the Sublime Text Editor and the Git Bash terminal as always. And as always, you can find a link to the code in the pinned comment section below, as well as a link to the playlist for the other Django Wednesday videos. So check that out if you haven't already. So, all right, the first thing we need is a page that we can redirect to whenever somebody searches, that will have the search result on it. So let's head over to our templates, events, and let's create a new file. And let's go file, save as, and we can save this as anything we want, but let's call this search_venues.html because that kind of makes sense to me. We're gonna search the venues, right? So I'll just pop that there. And I'm gonna head over to my home.html, and I'm just gonna copy all this code and sort of paste it in here. And I'll get rid of this. I'm just kind of copying this. So this will put our nav bar up on the screen. And here, for the H1, let's type in you searched for ... And we'll get rid of the rest of this stuff for now. So, okay, let's go ahead and save this. So we've got this page. Now we need a URL to point towards the page. So let's head over to our urls.py file and just sort of come down here. And I'm going to paste that in and just copy any of these basic ones and paste it in. And we can see, let me just copy this again. So this is going to be search_venues. We want to point this to views.search_venues, which we haven't created yet. And we want the name of this thing to be search_venues or maybe search-venues. We sort of have this dash theme going here, so we'll stick with that. Okay, so that's our URL. So let's go ahead and save this. So we've got the page itself. We've got a URL. We need the third thing that you always need whenever you create anything with Django, which is this view. So we call this view search_venues. So we need to create that. So let's head over to our views.py file. And anywhere in here, we can just define search_venues. We want to pass in a request as always. Okay, so I'm going to paste this in one more time. So what do we need to do? Well, the first thing we're going to have to render something, render a web page. So let's see. Here's where we'll copy that. So here we want this to be events/search_venues.html. And for now, we're not passing anything at all. So we can sort of get rid of that. Okay, so let me just sort of put this on different lines so we can see it easier. Okay, so strictly speaking, this is pretty much all we need. So now we're going to need to do some work here to actually query the database and stuff, but we'll get to that in just a second. Now I want to head over to our nav bar, because if you see on our site, we pull this back up and hit reload. Here's our nav bar. We've got this search thing. If we click this now, nothing happens. So we need this button to now point to that new page we just created. So let's head over to our nav bar. That's in our templates/events folder. Look for nav bar and just come down here to the bottom and where you see search. That's the form there. And right off the bat, I'm going to change this from BT and outline success to secondary. That success makes the button green, secondary makes it gray. So hit reload. Okay, so now the button is gray. It's a little thing, but it kind of bothers me. So I like gray better. This sort of keeping with the theme of black and gray. So okay, that's that. So now we need to actually point this thing somewhere. So here's our form thing. And this is going to be, let's make this a method of post. We want to post this form. And let's give this an action of something. Well, let's use a Django URL tag. And this is going to be a URL. And where do we want to point this? We want to point this to, let's grab our URL. We called this search-venues. So right there, boom, search-venues. So, okay, that is almost good. Now we also need a CSRF token. Anytime you have a form with Django, you always need a CSRF_token. So cross-site request forgery token helps keep hackers from hijacking your form. So, okay, let's go ahead and save this. Now, I don't know that this will actually work just yet. We can give it a try. Let's come back here and hit reload. If we click this, yeah, it goes to you searched for. If we type in something here, it'll still go to this page. You see search venues, but it doesn't actually say anything yet. We're not doing anything with whatever we typed into this box yet. So now we need to do that, but at least we're coming along pretty quick and easy. So let's head over to our views.py file, and we need to determine whether or not somebody has gone to the page or has filled out the form and posted to the page. If you'll notice, if we come back here we're at search venues. If we just go to this page, it still shows up. So right now, it makes no determination whether you're clicking, whether you're just going to the page or whether you're filling out the form. So we need to fix that. So let's do that with an if statement. Let's go if, and let's go request.method equals post. So here we're saying, hey, if they actually post, then do something. What do we want to do? Well, right now we just want to return this thing, right? So let's copy this. Let's go else. We also want to return this thing, but we'll see it's going to be slightly different. Okay, so now let's head back over to the navbar, and you'll notice if we look at the website, we've got this one input box, right? So if we look at that in the code, that is this box right here, input. And you'll notice it has a class of form control, it has this type of search, has a placeholder. Let's maybe change the placeholder to search venues. So if we save this, come back over here, hit reload, whatever. Now inside of here, it says search venues. I think that's a little better, but that's just cosmetic. What we need to do is add a name to this so we can reference it. So let's call this name equals, and what do we want to call this? I'm just gonna call it searched because it's just one thing. It doesn't really matter what you name this. We just need to be able to reference it later on. So we call this search. Go ahead and save this. Now head back over to our views.py file, and we can sort of see whether or not there is a searched. Did somebody fill out the form? If so, then there's a searched. So how do we do that? Well, if you look in other things we've done with forms, we created an actual form, like this venue form, right? Which is over here in our forms.py file. It's a whole thing. We did the thing. Now we could do that, right? But this is just a sort of a simple thing. So instead, I'm going to show you sort of a hacky, easier way to do it when you're not that serious about the form. And we're not that serious about this form. It's just one little field, right? So what we can do is create this variable and set it equal to request.post and then brackets and then searched. Now, sometimes this works for people and sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes instead of square brackets, you have to use parentheses, right? I don't know why. Play around with it. If this doesn't work for you for some reason, try parentheses. If that doesn't work, Google request post brackets and maybe look that way, but this usually does work. So now this variable will be whatever this is, which is whatever somebody typed into that box. So now we can just make sure that we got this correctly. Let's pass this back to the page. So let's come down here and pass it in as a dictionary, right? So we could save that. Now let's head back over to the page itself. And up here, let's go, hey, is there a searched? So let's go if searched. And I always want to close my if right away. Otherwise I forget. So let's go if searched. Let's say you searched for, and then let's pass in searched. And then we can go else. Let's go H1, close our H1. Hey, you forgot to search for a venue, ... Okay, so now if we fill out the form, we'll have a search and it'll say, hey, you searched for whatever you searched for. Otherwise, it'll say, hey, you forgot to search. So let's go ahead and save this and test this out. So let's just come back here and I'm just gonna click on this and hit enter. And it says, hey, you forgot to search for a venue. Otherwise, I'm gonna come here and type in Bob. You searched for Bob. So, okay, the form is working. We're passing something to the back end, to the views.py file. We can then do something with it. In this case, we're sort of passing it back to the page itself. So now all we have to do is query the database to search. How do we do that? Well, this is incredibly easy and a lot of fun. And it's one of the reasons why we like Django so much. It's really easy to search and query the database. So up here, we can take our search and let's create a new variable called venues. This will be the returned search results of venues since we're searching for venues. So what do we want to do? Well, we want to search venue and we want to grab objects from the venue model, but we want to filter them by something. So why venue? Well, because remember our models.py file, that's the venue model, right? We want to search that model. So we want to find, we can search by anything, but it's probably best to search by name. So we can do that by filtering by name. And we do that by going name __ contains, and then set that equal to something. What do we want the name to contain? Whatever the person searched for. So we could just pass in searched. That should do the trick. So now we just need to pass this back to the page itself. So we come back down to our context dictionary and just pass it in like we always do with other things. And so now we can access this venues on the page itself. So go ahead and save this, head back over here, and underneath where it says you searched for, let's put a line break. Now this could return one thing, it could return 50 things, it could return a bunch of things, right? We don't know. So we're gonna have to loop through what it returns and print each one out on the screen. So we need a for loop for that. So let's go for venue in venues. That venues is what we're passing to the page, right? And I always want to end for, because otherwise I forget. So here, let's just print out venue. And we'll play around with this in a bit. And we probably also want a line break, so they're one per line. So, okay, let's go ahead and save this and head back over here. And first, let's look at venues and see what we got. We've got Las Vegas, Vegas, City Park. So let's try city. I'm going to search for city. Click here to search. You search for City Park. Let's search for Vegas because we have a couple with Vegas in the name. So here, you search for Vegas, and maybe you want to change this. Maybe we don't care what we searched for. We don't really need that on there, but I'll leave it there. And you can see we've got the names of each one. Now we can access the entire model, not just the names. So if we head back over here and look at our model, in our venue model here, we have names, address, zip codes, phone, web, email address. So let's try web. Say we want to put their name and their website. So we just do that by coming back over here. And here we can go venue, and then maybe we want a dash. And then here we want venue.web, right? So whatever you want from the model, you just dot and then put it on. So if you wanted, for instance, the phone number, then you would put venue.phone, right? Whatever it's called in the model. Where'd you go? These things here, you can reference them, right? So we've looked at stuff like that before. So, okay, let's go ahead and save this. Head back over here, save this, make sure everything's saved. Come back here and let's search again for Vegas. Click search, and now we get the URL, right? So maybe if the URL is not clickable, we can make that clickable. I think I showed you how to do that in the last video. But now we can make this entire thing clickable. You notice this one doesn't have a website because it doesn't have a website. Right, if we go back to venues and look for, yeah, see, it doesn't actually have one of those. So very cool. So if I type 41, area 41, and now head back over here and notice this is a capital V in Vegas. If I search for lowercase Vegas, it's still going to show up. So it's not case sensitive. So that's nice. That's what you want in a search. You don't necessarily want it to be case sensitive. So, all right, let's head back over here and get rid of this URL thing. I don't really want it. What I really want is to make these clickable so that they can go to the page that has all of the information for each venue. So to do that, we just wrap this in an A tag. So a href equals, and then a closing A tag. And how do we search for venues? Well, we looked at this in the last video. So if we come over here and show venue, let's see, the venue page, we see this URL. So it's Django URL. And I'm just going to copy the whole thing. It points to show venue and it passes the venue.id. We can reference the venue.id because, like here, we just did venue.web. We could also do venue.id, right? Whatever. So we have access to all of the model stuff for our venue model. So I can just pass this guy in there, URL, show venue, venue ID, and go ahead and save this, head back over here, hit reload, resend, and boom, now these are links. If we click on it, Las Vegas High School Gym, it goes to the Las Vegas High School Gym webpage, which is show venue /3. which you can also get by going to here and clicking on that. Goes to the same way. Or, you could search. Let's search for Vegas. There it is. We click on it. Oops, clicked on the wrong one. Boom, right? Very cool. So just that easy to create a search function. And you can search for anything. We're searching the venues model, but we've got it over here to our models.py file. We've got a venue model. We've got the My Club user model. We've got the event model. You can search for all of these things in the exact same way. You just grab the thing you search for, run a Venue.objects.filter by, and here we're doing filter by name, where it contains searched. And that sort of makes sense, right? If you're searching for something, you don't necessarily know the exact name. You might not necessarily know the full name. You might know one word or two words or something like that. So if it contains it, that's probably what we're looking for. That will then return it as this variable, which we then just pass into the page, loop through, spit it out onto the screen as always, boom, boom, and just that easy. And also still, when we search, so Vegas, it's going to search venues, right? We don't have a link to search_venues in our navbar anywhere, but if somebody was trying to be a little sneaky and just went to this website, for instance, we just went to the website, it says, hey, you forgot to search for a venue and there's nothing else on this page. Maybe you would want to put another form underneath this, or maybe we would put a message that says you don't have access to this page, whatever you like. I'll just leave it like this because who really cares? But very cool and just that easy. Now you could also style this page however you wanted. Maybe you'd make a table out of it like we did here on our venues page. Whatever you like to do, you can do that, but I'll leave that to you, and pretty fun. So that's all for this video. If you liked it, be sure to smash the like button below, subscribe to the channel, give me a thumbs up for the YouTube algorithm, and check out Codemy.com where you can use coupon code YouTube1 to get $30 off membership. So it pays just $49 to access all my courses, over 47 courses, hundreds of videos, and the PDFs of all my best-selling coding books. Join over 100,000 students learning to code just like you. My name is John Elder from Codemy.com, and I'll see you in the next video.